Our next article presents comparative cases of Shenzhen and Bangladesh in terms of cross-border investment attracting foreign capitals. Joining us from Japan is Mamoon Zoha, a recent graduate of the MDES 3B program and has since returned to Japan to work in real estate investment. We also have the pleasure of welcoming Professor Rick Pizer, who is a Michael D. Spear Professor of Real Estate Development and co-head of the Master of Urban Planning program here at the GSD. The discussion will be moderated by Zhou Xu, a devoted editor of the article and the publication, who is a recent graduate of the MAUD program, joining us from Cambridge.
Thank you, Dixie, and thank you, George. Now I will hand it over to Mamoon. He will do a quick introduction of his article, Learning from Shenzhen, Opportunities for Cross-Border Real Estate Investment in Bangladesh. Thank you.
Hi, this is Mamoon Zoha. I'm talking from Tokyo. It's 2 a.m. in Tokyo now. So anyway, at first I want to thank to Professor Bing for giving me the privilege to write the paper as a part of City Making in China class. And I'd like to thank Professor Pizer for giving me wonderful feedback. Faculty advisor Alexander von Hoffman and the editorial board and everyone involved in this publication. Thank you so much. So my research topic is basically cross-border real estate investment. And at first I tried to realize the motivation of the international investors, especially in the real estate sector. And I found that basically there are two basic motivations of the international investors. One is the benefits from asset class diversification, such as besides bonds and stocks and the traditional investments, such as real estate, and benefits from geographical diversification when the asset or the real estate product is located in another geographic location. So combining both, the untapped real estate market of emerging economies can be considered as a strong potential investment sector for portfolio diversification, because these markets offers opportunities in an expanded universe of real estate beyond the market with sluggish economic growth in the most developed countries. But as you know, the concept of emerging market actually changes, and as we saw that in the late 90s, BRIC countries, the four big economies after the G7 economies, they came out, and all the concentration of the international investors went to the BRIC economies, and especially the real estate sector BRIC economies. But later we saw, especially in the 2008, when the financial meltdown occurred, especially in the housing sector, that the economies of those BRIC economies actually they're not very different from the G7 economies. Rather, they were pretty close to G7 economies, especially in terms of the risk and the return measure. So basically, the concept of the emerging market economy and the benefits from the emerging market economy, it's changed a lot without any consensus of the international investors group. So the necessity of finding out new emerging markets came out after 2008, and we saw that the next 11 countries, which has been identified by many institutional investors, researchers. For example, it has been identified by Goldman Sachs, I guess, and which included Bangladesh, one of the poorest, which has been famous for being the poorest nation of South Asia. It has been included in next 11 countries because of their high growth in economy, and especially their GDP growth became like more than 8% growth rate, 8%, and they continued this success for more than 3 years. So my intention was to check whether the Bangladesh market, the real estate market of Bangladesh, is prepared to catch up the concentration of the international investors or not. And I found some similarities between one of the hottest market of China, Shenzhen, and Bangladesh, because I found that the economy of Bangladesh is basically an export-oriented economy. And as you can see in this slide, that almost more than 80% export is basically, it depends on ready-made garments and cloth-related exports. And we can see that the major industries where the FDI or foreign direct investment came into Bangladesh. So now the challenge is how to use this foreign direct investment, how to funnel this investment to the real estate sector. And we saw that the investment has went to various industrial sector except real estate. So I tried to find out the reasons behind that, whether although Bangladesh government has set up special economic zones, but the investment is not going to the real estate. But in the case of Shenzhen, it went to the real estate sector. So I tried to find out the reason behind that and give a set of solutions, which you can find in my article. Thank you. And I would like to ask Professor Peiser if you have any experience when you have been working in China many years ago, and do you have any comment on the prospect of Bangladesh?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sure, we can hear you.
I apologize for being on the road, but fortunately my wife is doing the driving. Well, first, I found it to be a very interesting article, and I have spent quite a lot of time in China and some time in Shenzhen. I have yet to get to Bangladesh. So Mamun makes the case that Bangladesh is among the 11 up-and-coming countries that are going to be part of the next wave of extremely rapid urbanization and growth. Basically, I think the comparison with Shenzhen is a good one to the extent that Shenzhen has been incredibly successful at becoming a focal point for investment and industrial growth. As I understand it, the policies that Mamun points out have been successful are really oriented toward the industries they're trying to attract. And to a certain extent, the real estate is a byproduct of that. It's not the reason that it's occurring. That said, what's interesting to me about Shenzhen is that they've had a series of essentially new town development companies that have been led by the government. And one of the striking things about China is this partnership with the government-led city building in partnership with private developers. But it is the involvement of the government, I believe, that has helped to make the difference. So while I think, Mamun his main contribution is showing what would need to take place in Bangladesh for it to really have the kind of success that we see in Shenzhen. And I hope that the people in the country and the policy leaders will get to see the article, because I think he makes very good points. The main question I had was to what extent the Shenzhen comparison is completely applicable. But overall, I think it's a very interesting article, and one that wishes a discussion of what will make the difference in Bangladesh and pushes that conversation forward. So I appreciate the opportunity to comment on it, and I'm blown away that on a Saturday you have 77 participants on the call. So congratulations to all of you who put the journal together. It's really a nice piece of work.
Thank you, Professor. And Mamun, do you have any comment, questions regarding the article and the topic?
Well, probably I explained you to other day that, sorry, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a continuous process. Actually, I just started this research, and actually, I'm working in an investment fund in Tokyo. And actually, it's this type of research team can be a lifelong research. So this is just the beginning that I started in Harvard, but I will definitely continue, and I will try to find out the possible opportunities, not only to Bangladesh, but to the upcoming potential markets in Asia and outside Asia, definitely. Yes.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much.